Esmeralda.
I don't get it.
Oh,
Hello and welcome to episode 156 of That King Thing. The roof.
The roof is on fire.
oh,
I'm not going to make
it's a start.
I've already ruined this episode. It's not even gaming related, which is the beauty of it. This is That King Thing, the gaming podcast hosted by us, the King Brothers.
I've just thought, just to rudely interrupt you, it'd be part of his Disney one, though. We could link it.
Well, that was where I was going with it, but you've ruined that thing I was going to say.
That entire segue now, James. Now I can't
So-
do it.
This is a gaming podcast,
Kind of.
I think, allegedly. It was once upon a time. I am the eldest king sibling and your host, Thomas. I am joined by middle sibling, Joshua.
That's me.
And smallest sibling, James. Littlest sibling, sorry.
Hello.
Youngest sibling.
No, littlest. The tagline is littlest.
Okay then.
Hello. That is me.
That's what's going on the new merch that I decided I was going to
me.
make 8 months ago and I've still not done. Yeah. So what have we done this week? Well, I'm just going to start there. Screw it. Why not?
James, you first, because yours will be short.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Is that it? Just Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Pretty much, yeah, because it's like an easy game, to play in between feeding and changing small childs.
I don't know what you're talking about. That child is immensely easy to look after.
She is, isn't she?
I spent like 3 hours with her and all she did was sleep.
It's brilliant. Yeah, other than that, FIFA.
I knew that was coming. So basically you've played Battlefront 2 and FIFA.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Because Battlefront 2 was like childhood fucking amazeballs. But that game is fucking hard. How we played that as children, I've got no idea.
For reference, we're obviously talking about old Battlefront 2, not current Battlefront
on OG
2.
Xbox.
OG Battlefront 2.
If you found it hard, James, that's probably why I'd always win. Because it's not hard.
That's what she said.
Huh?
It's not hard to play that game.
It is. I was almost sick when I was flying one of them fucking jet things.
Jet things. I thought you were a Star Wars fan. Jet
Not
things.
really. I like it, but I'm not like a massive fan.
Yeah, but you know they're not jets.
Well, they fucking fly. And they've got like jet engines.
It's not fucking Top Gun.
Spaceships then.
Tom Clancy's Hawks. So I guess we move on because James can fuck all. This is going to be a short episode.
I'm going to sit back and open my beer.
He's cracking a can open.
James, since I just said I'm going to sit back and open my beer.
I didn't hear him say that at all.
Mine's already open. That was the sound of me flicking it to prove that I have one.
The hills are mine.
I can't casually drink alcohol that easily, so, none for me.
Okay.
I've got water.
None for me, thank you.
We know from experience that you could sit in a corner and drink water and still get off your tits, so...
Why do you think I'm drinking water?
Go listen to that episode.
Throwback.
2019, the year of the throwback, where we've run out of content, so we just talk about shit we did in the past. Do you know what, actually, just speaking of that before we move on, I was listening to a really old episode, episode 24.
For game ideas.
No, it was episode 24, and it was because I was looking for the original version of Jeopardy for when you two just didn't get it. And I was going back, and I went back to listen to that episode, and I ended up listening to like the first 5 minutes of it and realized that, when I go like, anyway, and we now make the Frozen joke, even back then, I went, anyway, I'm going to say that because that's my catchphrase in this show. Anyway, and I did it even back then. So that's something that's lasted like 2.5 years.
But we've only just caught on to it.
Well, we've only just caught on to the fact that it sounds like I'm singing Frozen. I mean, that's mainly because Joshua's points were Frozen. So it's two birds and one stone or whatever. 2 catchphrases and 1 joke.
So what you played this week, Joshua?
I have gone back and started playing Skyrim because my phone game made me want to do it. So I've been doing that.
Which device have you chosen to play it on?
The Xbox, because I own it on that.
Oh, that's boring.
So boring. But I've only got 4 achievements left to do, so I'm just doing a long playthrough all story and stuff till I get to the point where I can finish the 4 achievements I need to do.
Finish them.
Exactly. We'll finish them.
Idiot.
But yeah, what else have I done? I've played a little bit at Rocket League this afternoon as well, after I got home. So I could...
Rocket League?
Yes, Rocket League. With the new Rocket Pass and the challenges.
Calm down, Batman.
What?
That's part of the throwback from the original Rocket League bit. But
Is it?
yes, if you want to listen back, feel free. Just for reference.
I'm bringing back the auto-tune, by the way, because I listened to the intro on that episode. Do you like that? Do you like that, bitch? Just because I miss it, I'm going to bring it back sometime.
Shoot me now.
How do you remember it word for word? When I'm going to listen to it, how can you quote it word for word like that?
I could probably have the lyrics, the script
The
for
lyrics.
each show.
Oh, God.
Because when you say okay,
I've not really
at the end
played
of it-
much else, to be honest with you. So I played some Switch games. Played...
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the fact that James is still trying to talk about auto-tune and Joshua just went, yes, I've not really played anything
Yeah,
else.
no.
And James just went,
In fact,
so
we all-
it's my turn over now.
we all played
That's
Smash
been
Bros.
done.
together at weekend.
Oh, yeah, we did. We all
We
played
did.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah, we all played Smash
Yeah.
Brothers.
And we all
And-
got smashed one by a different brother. Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm not going to mention what we're going to mention now. I'm going to say we all at some point got beat by Lucy.
Yeah, she actually did beat us at some point.
Yeah,
She didn't beat me. I
66-year-old
only played
beat
it
us all.
once. I only allowed one game.
You had more than one game.
You had more than one.
No, I mean one game against Lucy.
All right.
I would have beat Joshua, but he's a cheating little shit.
I'm not a cheat.
Joshua was just a picker-upper person.
A picker up.
What are they in there to do? They are items to be picked up.
Right, listen, whenever you fight Joshua in Smash Brothers, well, this is one thing I've noticed about him is he will never, ever fight you directly. He just picks shit up and throws it at you.
I
And
don't get
uses the
hit.
power-ups.
You do. Simple.
Yeah, but it's pussy tactics.
But
Then do what I do then. Do it back to me. Make it so that I can't.
I'm
hit
just
you with
gonna turn power-ups off next time I play
stuff. All
you.
right, then. All right. Then.
So that you've got to fight me.
All right, then. Bring it. Bring it on. I'm ready.
Okay, so is that it?
I think that's it.
Okay.
think so.
I played Smash Brothers with you two and a copious amount of Rocket League with Brooke. Because that's all I've been doing lately is playing Rocket League on PS4 with her. Because she had nobody to play it with, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I'll play it.
give me that Rocket League.
Why have you not been cross-platforming with me?
Because you can't directly cross-platform PS4 to Xbox. And I've had to do it from the PC. Nope,
see.
you need a PC middleman, as far as I know, to make it work.
You gotta get that middleman.
You can get in a game against each other, as far as I know, but you can't party up. I don't think. You might be able to. We should try it, maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Play some threes, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
If we can do that, then I'm going to play from my Xbox and use all my cool fancy shit that I've got instead of having nothing
You
on
know,
the
the cool fancy
PS4.
shit that me and Craig give you.
Do you happen to know what level I am on
No,
Xbox, Joshua?
no, I don't.
What level do you get the veteran thing?
50.
It used to be 30, but I think it's 20 now.
Oh.
Okay, well I've got that.
Well, you're hardly a veteran if you're level 20.
So I'm already almost there on PlayStation. I'm going to get to level 14. Are you proud of me? No, 15.
I'm almost level 300, so I'm almost a superstar.
Oh. You're a superstar.
Currently,
That is
I'm an
what you
elite
are.
challenger.
Something else. We will something to another place.
Rocket League.
Something each other. Aha.
All over your face.
Yeah, I've played Rocket League and Smash Brothers.
So you did it then. You went back to the actual subject at hand after you were fucking about.
There's got to be a line somewhere.
I laughed all over that.
You did.
Just
You laugh all over it.
I laughed all over it.
It's all right when you two do it because I can cut it out afterwards, but I've just completely ruined the news intro. News. News. Okay. So, what did we talk about last week? Can you two remember? What did we bring up in the news?
A lot.
No, it's a serious question.
There wasn't much.
I don't entirely know, but I'm gonna go have a look at the document.
Oh no, sorry, it wasn't the news. Sorry, it was the incoming. What was the incoming question I asked?
Something about VR, was it?
No,
that
it
the week
was.
before.
Next generation is around the corner, but what do you, the gamers, want next generation?
Yeah,
Streaming and portability are hot topics, but what do we all really want? So, what did both of the big console manufacturers do this week?
Released
Console information.
console.
We are influencers, brothers. Influencers. Yeah, basically, PlayStation announced some PS5 information. That's what happened. That's what I'm alluding to.
Yeah.
So we found out essentially what Sony are planning for the PlayStation. Not playing for the PlayStation.
Playing for the PlayStation.
Yeah, playing for the PlayStation. So they've said that the next thing that they do will be a new generation. Everyone's just assuming PS5 for now, but they've not directly confirmed that that's what it would be called. There's a whole lot of new hardware going into it from what they've said in terms of the CPU specs and the graphics specs. Mm-hmm. A huge push towards 8K resolution. Not that anybody uses 8K resolution.
Not that it's affordable for anyone.
Fuck having to buy another new TV just for that shit.
The thing is, if this console's like a couple of years away, which it would seem that it is, because they've said that it won't be this year, realistically. So it's a distance away. Then again, 4K is still not that big, is it, really? Not many people have 4K.
No. It's
like, I don't even have 4K on anything other than my PC monitor. That's the only thing I have that's 4K. And only one of the two is 4K as well. Mm. So I have one 4K monitor of two PC monitors, and then no 4K TVs. So, and I was a tech buff, obviously, but like I stay fairly up to date with technology and stuff like that. I think the ultimate irony is I've bought a 4K Amazon Fire Stick and then plugged it into a 1080p TV. But it was on offer, and if I ever get a 4K TV, it'll work. That's my reasoning. Actually, this is totally unrelated. This is like complete curveball out there, but if you have Spotify Family, as in the thing where you can have 2 or 3 accounts for the set monthly price instead of all having to have individual ones, you can get a Google Mini Home Mini Home, it's called, for free.
Yep. Yeah,
by literally just going to the website.
You can also cancel it as well, because there's nothing in the T's and C's that says you can't cancel it and keep the Home Mini. So.
Oh, the subscription, you mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I already had the family package, so I just literally said, "Give me a Home Mini." It arrived today. which is why anyone in the TKT WhatsApp group saw me saying, play that King thing on the Google Home Mini, and she went, is it a hard Google or a soft Google? And I was like, this is funny because you're a Google thing and you're saying that. This is funny. And nobody appreciated it.
Google jokes. I did.
All right, you did.
Thank you.
I also have my Google Home Mini. It's back in its box and being unused.
Oh, did you get the free one?
Yeah, I've got.
Did you get it as well?
I've had it a few weeks.
I'll have it.
For a few weeks now. If you want it, it's £30.
What the fuck?
James, you can get a brand new one that Josh hasn't had his greasy fingers all over in Argos.
Yeah, but I like Joshua's greasy fingers.
Okay, then get that one.
£30 for it.
Fucking weirdos. Anyway, I'm going back to what we were talking about. So this PlayStation will have 8K. There's a whole new line of CPUs and graphics cards and stuff being built specifically with AMD. So it's going to be the Ryzen generation of AMD CPUs, which is up there, and the new Radeon stuff as well for the graphics card. Where that'll be in terms of relevance to PC products by the time the console comes out is another matter, but it will be a powerful piece of kit. There's no denying that.
It will. Yeah.
One of the other things that I noticed that they mentioned is that it will have a solid state hard drive, a solid state drive. So that, for layman's terms, means that it will be far quicker at loading shit from hard drive. Just far quicker. Like, anyone that's ever built or used a PC with a solid state drive will know exactly what I'm talking about, compared to a hard disk where you've got the rotating thing inside. So, yeah, a powerful machine to come.
No mentions of VR confirmed.
Well, they said that they're going to continue supporting VR because they see VR part of their core library of services and products.
But no new version of...
No expansion on it, but continued support of it is what they're getting at, which is... It makes sense. Obviously, we already knew they weren't going to be E3 this year, so maybe we'll actually physically see something come the end of the year when they do the Sony own branded show.
Yeah, Sony only.
They should just call it Sony only.
Sony.
Sony only. Sony only. Sony only.
I'm Sony. Oh, actually funny. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's rare for you to do that, but well done. And then, alongside that news, pretty much same day, more or less same time, Xbox made the digital edition official by announcing it and putting it on for pre-order. James, it was a news article about 4 weeks ago.
Where
we said we expect them to be releasing this.
A year or so ago, I said that they'd probably do a console without
No, you didn't. Go find it.
I will. I promise.
To be honest, with his memory
it.
recall, Thomas, I don't doubt him at this moment in time.
I do, because I think he's abusing the fact that he's got this memory recall ability to make shit up and pretend that it's legit. So I highly doubt
I did
him.
legit say it.
I don't believe you. Find it.
I will.
I'll do it now. So the discless Xbox is confirmed. Yep. It is basically just an Xbox One S without a disc drive. It literally is that. If you take the top off it, there's just a huge hole in the middle where the disc drive used to be. And I know this for a fact because I watched Lawrence on Inside Gaming tear one apart, and there is just a big gaping hole where the disc tray was, and there's even the SATA ports that you plug it into. They're still there. Like the gear is exactly the same. They've just not put the optical disc drive in, and they've made a slightly different panel, obviously, to make it solid across the front. But literally everything else is identical. The one thing that disappointed me is that because it's a digital-only console, they haven't seen that as an opportunity to put at least a different hard drive in it, a bigger hard drive, because it's still the same 1 terabyte hard drive that comes with the standard Xbox One S. So yes, the console is £50 cheaper, $50 cheaper, depending on which market you're buying in. But it's still got the same storage space, and you've got the problem of the fact that all your games are going to be digital, so you're going to use that space up quicker than if you were buying discs. Now, I know that a terabyte is quite a lot of space for games, but I currently fill a terabyte console and a 2 terabyte external. I fill the two of them combined, more or less. And I like every few months I'll have to delete some games that I'm not playing anymore. And it's probably my own fault in my hoarding nature, where I'm just like, I haven't 100%ed that yet, so I'm not going to delete it. There's games on my hard drive that I've not played in years, probably, but they're still there just in case I want to. So I guess that's kind of just me being a hoarder.
I do,
especially considering I have super fast internet and could download pretty much any game within an hour, no matter how big it is.
All right, bloody hell.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I've got less of an excuse to need to leave them installed.
True that.
Like, if you've got shit internet, like my mate Drew, who it takes like 4 weeks to just install Apex Legends,
what
then
the fuck?
All right, it wasn't literally 4 weeks, but it was multiple days. It took him like multiple days to install Apex Legends, so he was probably never going to want to delete anything off his PlayStation ever for that reason alone.
Imagine if you wanted to play a game, you'd have to like plan it days in advance if you needed to install it.
Yeah, or like if you were buying a game on release,
yeah,
you'd have to
Can I have it
rely
4 days early, please?
Yeah, you'd have to rely on the early pre-order preloading things, where you can install the game early.
But then you'll still have to update it on day one.
Yeah, and then day one patch will hit, and you'll be like, no! It's like week one patch for you. And by the time you've installed day one patch, week one patch is actually out, and then you have to wait for another one. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, discless Xboxes. So, yeah, it's out on the 7th of May officially, and you can pre-order it now. As I was saying before, I think I said a price. It's £200 here in the UK, which is £50 cheaper than a standard Xbox One S because of the disc tray removal. It comes with Minecraft, Sea of Thieves. Did I just say Sea of Thieves?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Sea of Thieves and Forza Horizon 3, question mark, as it is in my notes. Yeah, 3.
That's weird.
I find that odd as well because all 3 of those games, if I'm right, are on Game Pass.
They are all on Game Pass. And
so they're like, oh yeah, let's give you these 3 amazing games as part of your digital collection. And here's a trial for Game Pass that we'd like you to buy, which those 3 games are included in, so you're not really getting anything.
And they're the 3 games that are worthwhile on Game Pass, so good luck.
Well, no, Forza Horizon 4 is worthwhile on Game Pass too.
Crackdown's all right for a day.
Yeah, when you completed it.
To be fair to Forza Horizon 3, it is the Australian one, and it is one of the ones that I've played the most. That Australia one was pretty sick. We played that a lot.
Sick, bro.
So, yeah.
They are just testing water though with it, aren't they? They are using this as a way to test what they're going to do for their actual next gen console. Because they said at the beginning of this gen, digital's going to be the next thing, and it is. And they're testing that with this console, see how many sales they get.
Yeah, but they're capitalising on a digital market, which is fine. It makes sense. I don't think that they'd ever go completely digital only because too many people still use the disc method and want to use it. But the figures in terms of sales speak for themselves in the sense that 9 years ago in 2010, at the start of this decade, 69% of game sales were physical discs. Now, more recently, I think the last time it was done was either 2017 or 2018, so the figures aren't bang up to date, so it could even be higher than this now. But it's the last time this was done and checked was 71% digital. So it's gone from 69% physical to 71% digital. That's a huge swing because it's not only just swapped, it's swapped and overtaken.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is I believe those kind of figures do include mobile-based stuff. So I think that skews those numbers a little bit because when you've got things that are going to mobile and classed as purchasable games, then
they are
it's gonna cause a skew. But the significance is the huge swing.
Yeah.
In the way that people are gaming. I think PlayStation announced some figures saying that a few years ago they were selling around 30% digital content through the PlayStation Store for their exclusives, and more recently they're up to like 45% or something like that. So it's not as big of an increase, but that's purely just PlayStation exclusives on that console.
At the minute,
between the start of the generation and the current point.
At the minute, it's all about the sales changing from physical to digital, but eventually it'll be lack of sales because of people subscribing to stuff like Game Pass and whatever the fuck Google's doing. And
yeah, but if a million people, the thing is, like, if 1 million people are subscribed to Game Pass, that's what is it, $14 million a month?
Yeah.
Is it £14 a month Game Pass? Something like that?
It's going to be 50,
I think it's less than that. $7.99, isn't it?
No, that's...
It's $14.99.
Oh, I'm thinking if you've got both, I think, Gold and Game Pass. Regardless, it's a hell of a lot of money. And for the games that they're putting on there, if you think about the way that it will probably even out, let's say that Crackdown is a good example here. Out of 10 people that you know with Game Pass, how many of them do you think would have bought Crackdown? 1, maybe 2?
If that.
So
a few,
10 people buying Game Pass is the equivalent of, say, 2.5 copies of Crackdown. If 1, maybe 2 people would have bought Crackdown, it's already covered in a month worth of those subscriptions, isn't it? Yeah. Regardless on if all these people are playing it or not, like someone like me who wouldn't have bought it might take advantage of the fact that it's on Game Pass and play it. But regardless, that's only the same as like me lending the disc off one of you because it's like, oh, you might like it, give it a try.
Yeah,
it's so they'll recoup money through Game Pass, I think, far quicker.
Yeah, they will do.
To be honest,
the stuff that doesn't sell will still earn them money, even if people don't use it. They'll know who's using it, and then just put something more usable on there instead.
And they go through cycles of taking things off and putting them back on. Same as Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, think about how many Netflix originals Netflix put out, or how many Amazon Prime originals they put out. And they're charging, like, Amazon's the most ridiculous one, because they're charging, like, what, £9 a month or whatever it is, and you've got Prime Delivery, Prime Music, Prime Video, Prime whatever else, Prime Rib. But, like, my point is, like, there's no way that a single person, like, there's no way that my £8, £9, whatever it is a month that I pay to Amazon Prime would be feasible based on what I actually take out of it in terms of what I watch on Prime now and the number of deliveries that I have in a month from Amazon.
Yeah.
The way that they make their money is the fact that I will buy something on Amazon that might cost me a few pounds more than it would somewhere else, but I'll buy it on Amazon for the convenience of the fact that I've already paid for my next day super fast delivery. Yeah. Sometimes same day delivery, depending on what I'm ordering.
Like when I needed some light bulbs and got some like next day.
But yeah, but you can get stuff the same day, go on to Prime Now to get something the same day. You will only find sort of, I'd call them like, say, top end products, and if they're not, they're Amazon Basics own stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want a charger for your phone and you need one quickly, or a charger for whatever, it's an official one that costs like £15 compared to the cheaper one that costs £3, or it's an Amazon's own that costs £3 or £4. So you're either buying an Amazon product that costs them fuck all, or you're buying the expensive official product because there's nothing in between.
Yeah.
And that's how they strategically do that. Is they're like, well, you're getting this delivery because it's part of your service, but you're going to buy the most expensive thing that makes us the most money instead of buying your cheap £3 one that'll take a couple of days to arrive under your normal Prime service.
Yeah.
And that's how that works. And that's exactly the same as how Game Pass will work. It's the same as how Google's Stadia or whatever it's called. Yeah, that's how that'll work. It's all the same principle.
Yeah.
But digital is the way forward, isn't it? That's what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Digital. Should we move on?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Star Wars games. James and Joshua were on about them earlier. There's a new one coming. EA have basically revealed the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game. It will be made by Respawn, because of obviously Respawn being part of EA. And EA basically said, no microtransactions, no loot boxes. This is a single-player game. Like, all right.
So the story
Chill
mode
out.
you wanted on Battlefront 2, we're making more money off it, technically.
It does look good, though.
It does look good.
Do you know what I find really funny? I love that Alex Hunter's in it.
Is he actually, James, or are you just sick in the piss?
No, seriously, watch the video. There's a guy in that is Alex Hunter, and it's EA.
As soon as you said...
It does not surprise me.
As soon as you said it, I've already pressed play on the thing.
I'm so sorry.
To watch him.
I'm so sorry. Man City winning 5-3. What is going on? I'm sorry, football.
Man City are winning 5-3 against Tottenham.
Yeah, it's been a mental game. It was like 3-2 in 10 minutes. Ridiculous. And it's literally the 93rd minute, and Sterling's got a hat trick to make it 5-3.
Can I just point out, this is not Football Foundry, dickhead.
Soz. Shameless plug.
Shameless shelf. Oh, yes, shameless shelf. Is that where we put you when you've been naughty? You're going on the shameless shelf.
That shelf I'm
Just so you know, as well, that noise you can hear in the background, that's not me. That's a dog. Sorry. Sounded like dirty stuff. Yes, it does.
That.
Yeah.
It's only like Ezio joining in last week. I've still not seen Alex Hunt, James, and I'm a minute in.
Don't worry.
I'm still
towards the end.
looking.
You'll see him. When you do, you'll piss yourself. He's there on that fucking jet thing.
It's not a jet. For God's sake, James.
You on the bounty hunter things on the window.
You'll see him. Thomas will know when he sees him.
I'm waiting for him.
Alex Hunter is. I see, like...
That's not Alex Hunter.
It is Alex Hunter.
James, that's a woman.
It's a woman.
No, it's Alex Hunter.
You are...
It's a woman.
You are blind and stupid.
It's Alex Hunter.
That is not in any way anything
Get a picture of
like
Alex Hunter up. That is
I
Alex
just
Hunter,
did.
but the female form.
See, now you're
Yeah,
covering it
you
up.
accept that it's a woman now.
Now you-
But still, it's
yeah.
Alex Hunter.
It's got a longer
He's not Alex
face. It's
Hunter.
got a bigger forehead.
The eyes are huge.
The eyes are huge. Those ears are...
Yeah, stop saying it. It's
insane.
very harsh towards her.
I just hope it's not a real lady's face that you're saying looks like a male football player's face.
I'm going to carry on with the rest of the show
Okay,
now.
yeah, go for it.
So, yeah, Star Wars Fallen Jedi Fallen Order, whatever it's called. Made by Respawn. Might be good.
It's been disallowed. Oh, shit.
I'll disallow you in a minute, you little dickhead.
It's
Assassin's
Respawn.
Creed.
It will be good.
Yes, hopefully. Speaking of respawns, let's respawn the roof. No, sad and tragic news this week as the roof on Notre-Dame burnt down. But gaming related, Assassin's Creed might help rebuild it.
That's
No, but
mad,
literally,
that,
it
innit?
might.
Yeah,
It might actually might. So, if you haven't seen it already, the roof on Notre Dame burnt down. Hence the Esmeralda and fire jokes at the top of the show. Esmeralda sanctuary. I swear that in that film, this is going back to Drunken Disney or whatever we said we were going to call that podcast. Drunken Disney. In the Hunchback of Notre Dame Disney version, Is there not a giant fire in Notre-Dame?
I will Google it right now.
I think so.
Hard Google it, please, Joshua. That is a hard Google because you will definitely need sources.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure there's a big fire, though. And Quasimodo almost gets stuck.
The first thing was Googled Hunchback of Notre-Dame fire.
There you go, see?
Is
Disney
he okay?
pledges $5 million to help rebuild the Hunchback's home. So they
feel responsible for predicting the fire. So, right, while Joshua hard Googles that.
I don't need to, it's on YouTube.
All right. While Joshua YouTubes that, the thing with Assassin's Creed, there's like 2 levels to it. So, Assassin's Creed Unity was set in Paris during the French Revolution. And it means that a huge number of French buildings were meticulously like mapped and then rebuilt in the game to scale. So what that means is Ubisoft have this huge blueprint, effectively, of how everything was to, I think it's 90% scale or something like that. Like, it's a hugely accurate rendering of what that roof was like. So effectively, those plans could be handed over to construction workers, I guess. I don't know who you'd give them to, who can build a new roof as accurately as it was originally. What I do love, though, is I saw a really good meme yesterday, I think it was, and it was basically like, Notre Dame survives the French Revolution, World War One, World War Two, whatever else it survived, like it's all these things, and it says construction work, and then it's just a picture of it all on fire. And it's like, oh, that's harsh but funny. Harsh but funny. Fucking weirdos. The other thing that Ubisoft have also done, other than saying that this stuff could be made available for people, is they've pledged $500,000.
There's a lot of people pledging as well, isn't there?
The repair costs. Yeah, there's what was the other one? Joshua, I think, found another big
$5 million from Disney.
Oh yeah, we've just talked about it. Duh.
$5 million. I think it were some form of dollars. I don't know which ones.
What?
Whether it's American or Canadian.
Well, the Ubisoft one's probably Canadian dollars. So
that's why
what looks like a big number of 500,000 is probably like 50p.
Any money made from
sorry,
loot crates
Canada
should go towards this.
So,
hang on, James. What did you just say?
Any money made from loot crates should go towards this.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I thought you said Unity.
Oh no, they've already done enough.
I've just realised something. It's kind of funny that the faces on that game didn't work, and there's a film based in the same area with a guy with a fucked up face.
What?
Well, the faces on Unity, they were all inside out, and you couldn't see faces. You could just see eyeballs and mouths and shit when it first came out because it wouldn't work properly.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Google it. Just Google Assassin's
Soft
Creed.
Google or hard Google?
Soft Google. Assassin's Creed Unity glitches.
Assassin's Creed Unity glitches. It better be a soft Google. Oh my god, it is a soft Google. What the fuck is that shit?
Did you actually play it? Have you ever played it?
I've never played it. No, I don't care about the French Revolution.
Faces appeared like that a lot in the story and the cinematics and stuff. So I find it funny, and I've only just realised that there's a film based in the same area about some guy with a fucked up face, and they made a game like that.
Maybe they've just got issues with people's faces.
No, that's clearly BioWare. They just don't like faces.
BioWare is the main culprit for facial issues. I've lost track of where I'm going. If you want Unity for free, by the way, you can do on PC. Ubisoft are giving it away between now and the 25th. So go install it if you've got a PC capable of playing it. And then you can experience Notre-Dame with a roof.
Yes. Before those contractors came in and accidentally
ruined it all for everyone.
No, they didn't ruin it.
That meme's still in my head. The meme's still in my head. It's like 850 years of revolution, World War One, World War Two, blah 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 blah. contractors.
They've done it on purpose.
It's all a big insurance job, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. It's just, look, this is going to cost you absolutely shit tons, but if we had an accident, have you got insurance?
If I just happen to leave this welding torch, I don't know what they use.
If I just leave something on and it rains on it, or something happens,
it will make fire.
Then your insurance will definitely pay for it, because this is a damn old building. And then, as well as that, they're also getting an absolute shit ton of donation. Does a roof really cost $5 million to replace?
It's a big roof.
It is a big roof.
And it did destroy a lot of shit inside as well. It's not really just the roof.
And they need to get the similar style brick skin, which can be quite a lot because it's old.
Well, it's going to involve time travel. That.
Yeah. So they're not just going to need Assassin's Creed's help.
Yo, Hunchy, I'm here to nab some bricks.
Do we actually know, between us, do we know what is actually the damage other than the roof fell off?
The roof, the insides haven't been fully assessed yet, so we don't know. I'm sure they'll come out in news in the next few days with a full.
Well, I've seen some pictures of the base. I've seen some pictures of basically the roof on the floor inside, and it's all fucked. So stuff inside is probably.
It will all weakened from all the climbing that's been done on it.
Is that supposed to be an Assassin's Creed reference?
And Hunchback used to swing around that bastard.
That's where they got the idea from.
Well, there's supposed to be a gigantic organ in there as well.
Yeah, my dick.
All up in your veg.
Good reference, James. You got it.
Thank you.
You got the reference. I want to put my dick in.
All up in your veg.
Would you like to see my erection selection? Hey, for anyone who's wondering what the fuck we're on about, go watch a movie called Wanderlust with Paul Rudd. It's amazing. Or just Google Wanderlust.
Soft Google.
Wanderlust mirror scene. There we go.
Google I think if you Googled Wanderlust, that would be the first thing that came up anyway.
Yeah. Or Paul Rudd, even Paul Rudd mirror scene. Or
yeah.
I'm gonna put my dick in. Okay. Moving on.
It's time to play a game.
Oh, it's that time of week where I try and turn the music down without turning it off. And fail.
Nice. I love the reminder.
I really need a new soundboard. I can't do it. I just can't do it anymore. The beer is killing me. Killing me softly with beer.
You really want the auto-tune back, don't you?
So the scores at the moment, Thomas?
5-2-1.
You've not even said it's
a game. This is the bit where we go head to head.
It's where you turn the music down. Without...
All right, then, let me do it.
God.
This is the bit where we go head to head. 5-2-1. Joshua.
Go.
5, 2, 1.
Blast.
Go. No, this is the bit where two of us go head to head. The third one does the hosty bit. It's Joshua's turn to do hosty bit, so the game's going to be shit. And the scores are currently at me on 5, Joshua on 2, James on 1. The only saving grace is that I seem to win whenever I'm not hosting, so it's probably going to be 6-1.
Yay.
Quite likely.
Joshua, what's your game?
Are you sure you want to know? Do you not just want to flip a coin and see
Well, I'm going to
happens?
have to know.
If it involves potatoes, I'm out.
Thomas, you get a point.
God.
Oh my god.
The game this week is Hot Potato Revenge of the Chips.
Oh, no! 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 I hate this game! I hate this game because he never does it the right way it should be done.
Why?
Okay, so
my dog's upset now.
Is this really the game that you're doing?
Really the game.
This is not a joke.
No, this is not a joke. This is an entire 15 questions of hot potato.
Why?
For fuck's sake.
By now, you should know how hot potato works.
We've got a 7-minute timer.
No, nobody knows how hot potato works, because 1, you change the rules all the time, and 2, they're not the logical rules for how it should work.
And the name change.
So explain it again.
Okay. Right,
He doesn't know.
Even he doesn't know.
Just in case you don't remember, I've got 15 questions and you have to get one correct, which will pass the potato on to your opponent.
Just one.
The person holding the potato answers the questions until they get one correct or until the oven beeper goes off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've done that. So you pass it between each other by getting questions correct. If you get it wrong, I just move on to the next question and I cycle through the 15 questions I've got.
So basically what happens is we get a couple right early on, then I get stuck in a loop where all the questions that are left are ones I don't know the answer to, so Thomas wins.
Generally, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you ready?
Yes, Spud.
Do you want some puns?
I'm having
If you
another
must.
beer because I need it for this.
Same. Good shout.
Grab your jackets because we're going on this journey together.
Oh no, not potato puns again.
Who's going to get peeled and
We
who's
used
going to
too many
walk
of them
away
up
with a
last
nice
time.
crispy point?
That one wasn't even potato related. You just said the word crispy.
I know. And you make crisps.
That could be anything.
Oh wait, crisps! Oh shit, sorry, crisps. My bad.
I'm sure you just think this is a load
Did
of
you say
potato
walkers
skins
away,
now.
by the way?
You what?
Did you say walkers away?
No,
with a crispy
walk away.
point?
But I've got this. We've got to get a move on before Gary Lineker shows up.
For our American listeners, who's just going to laze down and die?
That's good. I'm going to use that one next time. If I
No,
don't-
because I've just used it now.
Yeah, well, I'll bring it back for funds. So I've got a 7-minute timer because I'm going to do 7 minutes. Simple as.
You said that like it's new.
No, I can't remember what it was last time at all. There's no
7
notes
minutes.
about it. So
I
it's
said- I
gonna be
told you
7
earlier.
minutes.
Can anyone hear the disappointment in my voice?
No.
So basically,
I've just fucking spilt my beer all over me. It's freezing.
who's going to go first?
I will.
You're going to hold it first. All right, then. So that's what she said.
That wasn't what I was laughing at, but yeah.
So your timer's on now. Question 1. What free-to-play game's current expansion is called Future's End?
Pass.
In Skyrim or Elder Scrolls games, what is the translation of Dragonborn to Dragonspeak?
I passed it. Stop fucking my time up. I passed
Kid
it.
6 beloved character from Destiny was voiced by who?
What the... Pass!
Oh, come on, James.
On Plants vs. Zombies Garden
Better.
Warfare, you can you play it as a
great.
potato-based plant character?
How long's left on the timer?
6 minutes 20.
Right, we're back in 6 minutes 15.
Right, James is still holding the potato, so we're back in 6 minutes 15, and he'll still lose for being absent for 6 minutes 15.
Well, no, because if I get it right, it passes over to Thomas, doesn't it? See, you upset my dog, Joshua. Do you really want this to end like this?
Can we just
yes,
answer the
you can.
questions, please?
No, you can't.
Oh, well, that would have been funny, wouldn't it?
I don't even know what the questions are. I stopped listening when James started throwing a bitch fit.
James, your next question.
By the way, thanks for the answer for that one. When we
Yeah, well,
recycled.
maybe Thomas gets it next time. Burnout Paradise was remastered and released in 2018. When was it originally launched?
Burnout Paradise, like 2007?
Incorrect. The Lego franchise games come in all shapes and sizes. Can you name 5 of them?
5 Lego games.
Yes.
Harry Potter, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Batman, and Lego Movie.
Yeah, that'll do. Thomas, question 7.
Oh, fucking hell.
Biohazard games are more commonly known to us as
Shit. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want from me?
Biohazard is a game that is more commonly known to us as
Oh, right. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's Resident Evil.
correct. James, The New Order, The New Colossus, and The Old Blood are subtitles from what game series?
Shadow of the Colossus.
No.
I see where you went with that.
I do. Oh. Is this an in-game character race description or a potato? With eyes of medium depth and smooth skin, the skin and the base of the eye are white in colour, as is the tubular flesh. There are many historical references to black ones in the literature spanning several of centuries. Potato or in-game character description? It's a yes or no answer, James. Just pick one.
Do you know what?
In-game
Potato or character would have been a better game.
What did you? What was your answer, James?
Character.
Incorrect. Minder is a Legend of Zelda character from which game?
Who?
Minder.
Wind Waker.
What company published the For Honor game?
I take it that's wrong.
No. What company published the For Honor game?
For Honor. DICE?
No.
The Sword of Avos tier is from what game?
These questions are fucking shit.
No, you should know that one, I think, James.
The Sword of what?
Avos tier.
Elder Scrolls.
Minecraft has water zombies. What weapon do they occasionally wield?
A wooden sword.
The main character's name from Dishonored is...
George.
In 2018, Ubisoft released a dancing game called what?
Dance Pie.
We're back to the beginning. Sweet potatoes. What free-to-play game's current expansion is called Future's End?
George.
No Man's Sky.
In Skyrim's Elder Scrolls series, what is the translation of Dragonborn into Dragon Speech?
Pokédex.
Kid 6 beloved character from Destiny was voiced by who? You should know that one.
Think about this one.
There's 2 minutes left.
Everyone says he should play Nathan Drake in a real-life Nathan Drake film.
And he has done in a small one.
Oh, yeah, he has. He did like a little funny spoof thing, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh, I can't
he was in
remember his name.
Buffy, an Angel,
and is it a new TV show about police that I've not seen or know the name of?
Come on, James.
How
long's left on his...
Not a clue.
1 minute 30 now. He spent 30 seconds on this one.
I'm trying to think.
You've not got a clue. Moving on.
Anthony Head.
On Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, can you play as a potato-based character?
No.
Correct. Thomas, Burnout Paradise was remastered and released in 2018. When was the original launched?
2004.
Incorrect.
How long's left?
It's a minute and 5 seconds. The New Order, The New Colossus, and The New
10.
Blood are subtitles from what
James,
game series?
shut up! I want to listen to
The
these.
New Order, The New Colossus, and The Old Blood are subtitles from what game series?
I think it's Wolfenstein.
Correct. James, is this a game character or a potato?
Oh, you little dickhead!
Oh.
Answer it now, or I'm passing it on.
Well, I don't know what the description is yet. Finish your question.
It's the same description as last time.
I can't remember
and
it,
you gave me an answer last time. It's a yes or no answer.
I can't remember it.
Is it a game character with eyes of medium depth and smooth skin? The skin and the base of the eye are white in colour and is the tuber flesh. There are many historical references to black ones in the literature spanning several centuries.
That one. It's a potato.
Right, you are going on to the next question. Minder is a Legend of Zelda character from what Twilight Princess? You're not cheating.
What do you mean I'm not cheating? Piss off!
You were cheating.
How was that cheating?
You were genuinely cheating. Thomas
How was that cheating?
You were holding a
Can I just
potato.
point out?
That was not cheating.
If I'd have been given that question, I would have been able to answer it in time because it's Twilight Princess. So he would have lost anyway.
Yeah.
What?
But still, you know what you answered last time, and it's a yes/no question. You made me read it out on purpose to extend your time.
That's not my fault. I found a flaw in your rules.
Officially. Thomas, was he or was he not cheating?
This is why I was adamant with Joshua last time, the last 8 times we played this game, that the way it should work...
3 times, we've played it 3 times.
The way it should work is that whenever I'm answering questions correctly, he has the grenade. So you can't cheat like that. Why, when you don't know the question, or when you do know the question, stalling.
I played that
James.
well. I deserved a point for that.
You didn't. Joshua, can we just quickly go through the questions that weren't answered so I can answer them?
Justice
what
for
free-to-play game's current expansion is called Future's End?
I want to say it's Paladins.
It is Paladins. In Skyrim or the Elder Scrolls series, what is the translation of Dragonborn into Dragon Speak?
Isn't it like Umra or something?
Umra.
No, it's Dovahkiin.
Oh, I can't remember what Umra
That's what
is.
they call you.
Oh, yeah.
Kid 6. Thomas?
Nathan Fillion.
Oh, yeah, because it's called Nathan, innit? Yeah, I remember that.
That's got nothing to do with it, but yeah.
But Nathan Drake. Because he played the little Nathan thing. We talked about it ages ago.
It's got nothing to do with the fact that his name's Nathan.
Yeah, but he played Nathan Drake in that mini thing. And that's what we found quite ironic about it.
What else?
Burnout Paradise was remastered and re-released in 2018. When was the original launch?
2011.
No, 2008.
James, you were closest then. You said 7.
He did say 7. It was also the last Burnout game that's been published as well. So they've not done any more since. You know who Minder is. Well, you know what game
Twilight
Minder's
Princess.
from. What company published For Honor?
Ubisoft.
Yes. Avos Tia.
Fable, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Minecraft and Water Zombies, what weapon do they occasionally wield?
Paddles.
No. It's a trident.
Oh, well, that's stupid. The zombies, not
the main
mermen.
character's name from Dishonored.
George. I don't know that one.
It's Corvo.
Oh, yeah, I'd have got that, of course.
This one's my favourite question for some reason. In 2018, Ubisoft released a dancing game called what?
Is Ubisoft? Which one's Ubisoft? Is theirs?
It's
Just
a circle
Dance?
with a swirl in it. It's Just Dance 2019, yeah. Because apparently they're still releasing them, even though I don't think they use the Kinect on it. So I don't understand how it
Just
works.
Dance. You tend to get them on stuff like Wii now, or whatever, or Switch, and you use the controls.
I need to actually Google that and see if they do it.
I'd rather you didn't soft or hard Google that. Can I just have some music now so I can move on?
Yes, you can have some music because I believe James to have been cheating.
I wouldn't call it cheated.
I wouldn't call him cheating. I'd have just said that if you'd have not started accusing him of cheating, I'd have got the next question and got it right anyway. So
I didn't even cheat. He didn't
redundant.
finish his question.
I'm just going to press the music now, James.
Justice for James.
You don't deserve shit.
Yeah, I do.
I've done it again. I win 6-2-1.
Put up a poll. See if I deserve that point.
I'll fucking put a poll up you in a minute.
Please do. I'd fucking love it.
Oh, god damn it. You can do this. Seems like you're so obsessed with being part of this podcast.
Oh, my dog.
What?
Who are you talking to?
You fucking bell end.
Oh, all right. Hi. What am I doing?
We've done that bit, James. That's the first bit we do.
I'm lost.
We're on incoming. The worm says it.
Well, we asked what do people think about the new consoles this week. Here's some responses.
Can you at least put some enthusiasm into it? No wonder nobody wants to send out when
Go
you
on, James, give us the most upbeat.
Sorry, I've just cheated on a game, so I feel a bit guilty. What do people think about the new consoles this week? We sent that question out on the Twitters and the Facebooks, and people have answered. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read out your answers, and we will discuss your answers between us.
Thanks for showing some enthusiasm towards the podcast.
I think it's Fazbooks as well, not Facebook.
Shut the fuck up. I don't like you at the minute. David Underground Moo Faria says, do you guys believe we are truly ready for completely digital consoles? No disk drive. I, for one, am ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
same.
straight up. I've not bought a physical game in a long time.
Other than for the Switch, I haven't bought one recently at all. The last one I got was Crash Bandicoot, and it's only so I could have got rid of it once I finished it.
But the thing with that is, even the Switch, I don't buy the cartridges. I've got a cartridge, but that's just because it came as a cartridge. Like, I was disappointed. I think I've said this before, but I was disappointed when I bought my PlayStation that the games in the bundle, the 3 games that I got, were all physical discs and not digital codes, because it meant I have to get up and change disc all the time. I know that sounds really fucking lazy, but it just pisses me off having to do that. I prefer digital games. It's just easier.
Same,
to be honest.
Whether the world is ready for it, I don't know.
We seem to have adapted to Netflix and stuff quite well for DVDs.
I think it really depends on the person. Like, I think that next generation of gamer below us probably doesn't even know what a disc is, and they wonder what that slot's for on the front of the console.
Is that for my penis?
Is that for my penis or my Pop-Tart? Neither, son. It's for a disc. Disc? What is disc?
How do disc?
Fortnite disc? No, Fortnite's not on disc, son. Oh. So,
Dejan Tender Will Narwolf Will Hodkin.
Just Will. Thanks for moving on, James.
All right, I saved you. Xbox could have had a stroke of genius had this been at the beginning of the gen. Hopefully. Hope they think about this for the next console. As for the PS5, so it's basically a PC.
They need to be. Consoles need to be now.
Do they?
It's the only way they're going to get any better. They need to be more PC component based, because PC is constantly updating, and consoles don't get changed at all.
No. Well, Joshua's point is that a PC technology can change like 2 or 3 times during a console generation.
You've gone really quiet for some reason.
Sorry, it's because I turned away, because speaking of PCs, I looked at mine and I noticed a giant smudge on the glass case, so I was cleaning it while I was talking. Sorry, bad podcasting etiquette. Yeah, Joshua's point generally there is that during a console generation, you'll get at least one refresh of PC technology, if not multiple. Especially with there being so many different components. Like, even if you only get a CPU update once, you probably get a new generation of graphics cards and shit like that. So there's always something going on in the PC world, whereas I suppose we get that a little bit now in the console scene because of things like the Scorpio and the Pro. It's not called Scorpio, is it? The X and the PS4 Pro. Because those were kind of taking what existed and having like a Gen 2 of the same thing, so it was still the same base but with better components, which is kind of like if you like got a new CPU for your PC or something like that, I guess, or a new graphics card. But yeah, I think that the key thing for the Xbox thing is that they'll hit people that are maybe a little bit more casual. People that didn't want to pay £250 for an Xbox might consider paying $200 and it come with a few games digitally.
Yeah.
If they fix the games that are in it, because I don't think. Then again, I guess the games that they're putting out there with it, like Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, and Forza Horizon 3, they're sort of fairly casual games to a degree, aren't they? I guess
they are family-friendly games, aren't they?
Really? Yeah, they're like family casual games. So they've said that they're not trying to target anyone specifically with it, but the choice of games means I can't help but think that they might be a little bit. But we'll see based on who buys them.
Faceplant641 says, my PS4 sounds like it's about to die, so I'm excited for PS5 backwards compatibility. Otherwise, I try and wait for price drops on new consoles. Microsoft just needs to hurry up and make Xbox One games fully playable on PC.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
Because obviously at the minute, you've got some that are play anywhere, like the in-house ones, sort of Sea of Thieves, Forza, Cuphead. There's a few others.
Gears, Crackdown.
Crackdown, yeah, that's another play anywhere. So you do get some that are play anywhere, but it would be nice if, like, once you bought an Xbox game, you could play it within the Xbox app on PC. Even if you had to use it within the app, it'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you've got to actually own the console to be able to stream the game to your PC.
Yeah.
You need the console. So it doesn't work on its own.
Yeah, and the app should be able to realise, oh, you've got the license for this game. Because I'm an Xbox app.
Let me play it locally.
Because it's an Xbox game.
That would be good.
Xbox component.
It would be good. Backwards compatibility, I think that if they don't put that into the PS5, it sounds like they're going to. I think they said that basically PS4 will be happening, but there's no confirmation on anything else earlier than that. I hope that they do put more into it than that. But in fairness, when Xbox announced the backwards compatibility, it was only initially 360 games, and then given time, they eventually got around to doing the OG Xbox stuff, didn't they? So fingers crossed, even if it's only PS4 at launch, they'll get things up and running for older shit. Because there's some amazing PS2 games that'd be awesome to get backwards compatible.
Amazing PS1 games as well.
Well, yeah, on PS1. I do really hope it definitely goes back that far. It's all a little bit up in the air speculation at the minute, but fingers crossed it will go back that far.
The problem with that is, though, they do it all in emulators, don't they? They don't make the console learn how to read the disc. The emulator either reads the disc or the file and plays it through the console's system. So it's not actually.
Yeah, but as long as that works, that's not
anything.
A bad thing, is it?
It just limits you can't put in any disc like you could with PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I guess.
Where you could put in any PlayStation 1 game and play it because it was a PlayStation 1 physically as well.
See, I think from what I remember reading about the new console, the reason that the PS4 thing will happen, but maybe not further back, and the reason that it's such a issue with the PS4 is it sounds like with the PS4 they made some really big architectural changes in the way that the system as a whole works, which is why nothing before the PS4 could be backwards compat on the PS4, and anything that you can play is like a weird remastered, restructured version designed for PS4. And what I think they're trying to get at is PS5 will keep that architecture, meaning it's easy for them to do PS4 backwards compatibility, and then anything that they've worked on in trying to get anything earlier backwards compatible will end up going into this new console if it's going anywhere. So Yeah,
they might as well make money off their old games.
That's my understanding of it. Anyway, this is very much an armchair skim reading an article of what's been said, so that might not be entirely accurate, but it's along those lines from what I understand.
Craig Mitchell says, I'm ready for digital console. The last disc I got was only because I ordered it from Amazon and it was cheap. Digital downloads are the way forwards. Haven't traded in or resold a disc since I got an Xbox One. But, in capital letters, I'm not going to get the new one because it's not better than what I have already.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
I could swap mine out.
I think you could, but why bother?
Yeah, unless I wanted a second console, there's no need for me to buy one of them.
Now, you see, this is the only time I'd consider it. So, if I was in a situation where, at the minute, I've got one of each, but Xbox was being played heavier, and it was a situation, where you wanted two consoles in the house, I'd probably pick up the digital one, effectively. Same as if I already had a PS4 Pro, what I'd do is pick up a Slim, because there's no need for the Pro again. There's just no need for it. So you'd pick up a Slim PS4 or a digital Xbox One, in my opinion. I debated, before I saw the price of it, I debated potentially getting one, because my complaint with my PlayStation has always been because of the way I use it downstairs in my living room. It's too casual. I don't play enough stuff on it, because when I'm playing games heavy, I like to be sat upstairs in this room here, in front of the PC, in front of my Xbox, whatever I'm playing, and be sat in this chair because I'm comfortable for a long period of time, concentrating on something.
Yeah.
Whereas downstairs in the front room, it's just too casual. So my argument was always, if I brought my PlayStation up here, I'd probably get more use out of it because I wouldn't use it so casually. But then I'd want a console downstairs. I thought my Switch had solved that problem, but it doesn't, because I play my Switch handheld. So that doesn't really solve that problem. So my potential idea is to get one of these digital consoles for downstairs. But I think that might just be overkill.
Well, doesn't it? Anyway, so you're not missing out.
I think it might just be overkill, though.
Makes sense, though. Eventually, if we end up in a room doing a podcast in a room, we'd probably
you buy digital.
Having one. We'd probably benefit
in a room doing a podcast in a room.
You know what I mean? Where if we're doing stuff
yeah, James, a room within a room.
Exactly.
A room within a room.
Within a podcast within a room.
Oh my
within
God.
a podcast room.
Exactly. Have a one up on Notre-Dame because we'll have a room.
It's podcast inception.
Podcastception.
Dan Smith says, I agree with Deja and Tenderwill Narwolf Will Hodkin.
Just Will.
Yeah. It's a PC with a shitty Sony sticker on it. They need to make that fucker fully backwards compatible all the way to PS1 when some of the best games like Hogs of War was out.
Can you take this seriously?
I am.
And read it like an actual
I'm reading it how Dan would have said it.
No, you're not reading it how Dan would have said it, because Dan would have made it sound as serious as possible. Not a sarcastic troll through trolldom like you are.
Okay. They need to make that fucker fully backwards compatible all the way back to PS1 when some of the best games like Hogs of War was out. Unless it's got bells, whistles, and a fucking streamer shooter out the front, then they may as well stick a Sony sticker on a fleshlight and a note that says go fuck yourself. There's been one good game in the last 5 years, Spider-Man. Even then, I smashed the ass out of that in a few weeks. So much so I've started to call my PS4 Katie Price, because she barely gets touched. But when it does, only for a week, then it's forgotten again. Fuck the PS4 and double fuck the PS5. Probably gonna end up buying one though.
Insightful.
That's a bit harsh about the last 5 years though. Spider-Man's not the best game of the last 5 years.
God, and what's the best PS4 exclusive?
Yeah, God of War, probably.
Well, you've had God of War, there's The Last of Us as well, Uncharted's. There's been some decent games.
Was Last of Us the last 5 years, though? It wasn't this gen, was it? It was gen before. So it'll be older than 5 years. Yeah, but... They re-released it, like, moderately remastered on PS4, but...
Let me just look on release date for that.
Why don't you soft Google it?
I am.
It was immediate.
2012. I'm going to guess.
2013.
Oh.
It was towards the back end.
Shut up. Yeah,
no, it wasn't like June 14th, sorry.
Yeah. Dan obviously doesn't like PlayStations. I don't know what else to say about that.
But he still keeps funding them.
To a degree, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, there's definitely things about the PlayStation I don't like, but it doesn't stop me using it. There's things I don't like about the Xbox.
There's things you don't like about all sorts, but you'll still end up using them. Like, that's just
exactly
what it is. Nothing's ever going to be perfect.
Apparently, Dan uses Katie Price. There's things he don't like about
allegedly.
A lot of people have used Katie Price.
Yeah, I'm just going to avoid us talking about her and move on to something else. I talked about it a little bit last week where we did some polls about if us talking about stuff that's not video games is whether or not you want to keep hearing it, I guess. So the results are in. The way that it went down is as follows. Twitter people were 50-50 between stick to gaming and do anything, I'll listen. So that's good, I guess. A couple of notable comments were... Oh, this is from both, actually. Thomas Delamorte says, whatever the subject of discussion or digression, TKT is always entertaining and funny. Do what the fuck you want. We are here for the ride. So, thanks, Tom. That's good to know.
That's the new name of the podcast, TKT, here for the ride.
Here for the ride.
And we can start every week with That's What She Said.
You could have like a mini show afterwards. It's like after the ride or post ride. I don't know. I'm just making sure.
Ride prep.
What else was there on Facebook? There was I could only do two options on Facebook because Facebook polls are shit. But on Facebook, 70% of people said talk about other stuff as well, and 30 said just stick to gaming. In terms of comments, Brooke Archer said, I like it when you talk absolute nonsense, but don't ditch the gaming because that's what TKT is. Nats agreed with that sentiment. And Craig Mitchell said there should be a not really bothered option, which I said there is kind of one of those on Twitter, but Facebook's shit and lets me have two. So he said, we'll count my reply as an official not bothered vote. Which sounds like it means he's not bothered about anything, but what he actually means is he's not bothered whether we talk shit or not, which is good to know. So it sounds like we're going to just keep talking shit, guys, but not be a gaming podcast. So we're still a gaming podcast, but we're still going to talk shit.
We should just do an episode every so often that's just not gaming related and get it all out with systems.
That's not what the people voted for, Joshua.
Just one.
The people have voted. Brexit is going to happen.
Is it really? Have we made a plan that works yet, Thomas?
The people
do we want to get into this?
Voted. Is it going to be a hard Brexit or a soft Google Brexit? Brexit Googleness.
It's a hard Googleness Brexit. Definitely.
That's all we have time for, everyone. Goodbye.
I like chicken. I like liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
What's that from now?
Austin Powers.
Thank you. Why did you sing that?
I don't know. I just thought I'd divert away from Brexit and that worked. So
did you just put a G in Brexit?
Brexit.
I just can't speak.
You are a bit of a moron.
Yeah.
If you'd like to get in touch with us on Twitter, you can do so by going to that_king_thing on Twitter.
Or ring Joshua's personal mobile number, which is 07
434 something 14. I don't know my own number.
I think that's too many numbers, even though most of the numbers were something.
I should have just done that and let Thomas beep some random numbers out.
Do you mean like that time I gave my number out to Activision?
Yeah, when you were drunk. 07 937.
I'm going to make you edit this episode, you little shitbag. If you'd like to find us on Facebook, you can do so by going to Facebook and searching for That King Thing. And lastly, we're on thatkingthing.com, where you can find links to YouTube, Patreon, other shit.
The store, the episode.
Click us faces.
Yeah, you can click on
Caress
the
them
faces.
with your cursor.
They don't do anything when you do it, but it's satisfying to do so.
It tickles.
It does.
I think it takes you to Twitter, actually, Joshua.
Does it?
Does it?
I want to try that shit.
I'm going to have a go
I'm
now.
pretty sure there's a link to everyone's Twitter on there.
Kingthing.com.
I put
I
Hat
really
King
depressed
Thing.
on mine. Hat King Thing.
Hat King Thing.
Can you imagine if just a crown came up? Are you looking? Or Google just went, did you mean crown?
Oh, you got to click underneath his faces. It's a little
I'll maybe
Twitter
change it
icon.
so you can click on his face.
Click the face.
Anyway, we digress.
The last time I did a tweet was March 13th.
What, 2014?
No, this year.
That's a miracle in itself that 2019 is graced with a Joshua King tweet.
There's a couple of them. Wait, yeah, one in January. There's two. There's a couple of them.
No, Joshua, you're on about retweets.
Yeah.
The last
Technically,
time
I
you
tweeted
tweeted
it.
anything was July 2018.
Was it? What was it?
And even that was retweeting someone just with a comment.
Yes, it was.
The last time you genuinely tweeted something was the 9th of May 2018.
And it's my weird
And
dinosaur out of blue tack that I made while recording this podcast.
And then he put East podcast recorded without Tom King 89, That King Thing. I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
I did, however, retweet it as the podcast for you, or James did. Somebody did.
My dog is really
East.
not happy about
I don't know why I'd put East. Best? Beast? I don't know.
East podcast. I'm pretty sure I started taking a piss out of you and we're like, West Side, East Side, when you tweeted that.
Quite possibly.
Probably.
Look what I got.
Oh, you did, James, because if you look in the replies, it says West
Does it?
Side.
It does. Yes, it does.
Oh yeah, West Side.
I imagine that was you. Anyway, goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, I forgot we were there.
Shut up.
Are you going to edit this bit out too? Should I say a word that can't go onto a recording so that you've got to edit it out?
I'd rather you didn't, thanks.
You can just beep it over if you want.
I'd rather just press stop. And then it's just a picture of it all on fire. And he's like, oh, that's harsh but funny. It's harsh but funny. Are either of you two even listening to me?
I'm trying
Yes.
to find the fire.
Can you react to something that I say then instead of just sitting there doing nothing, both of you? Thanks. Fucking weirdos. Do you know what, though? I'm going to use those weirdly camp laughs in the show and then take this bit where I said, stop being dickheads and ignoring me, and put it at the end so people know what I have to put up with.